I tried getting pregnant for 6 months. Here is what finally worked. Prior to that, I tracked my ovulation. I watched out for every symptom. I googled everything about period blood. But after 6 months of trying to conceive with no success, something had to change. Here is what I discovered about my cycle, about my health, and what finally worked out for me. This might just change your journey too. Who knows? This is that video I wished someone had made for me. Hi everyone, welcome back to Good Life Diary on YouTube. Here we talk real about women's health, fertility, and everything in between. So if you've been trying to conceive, or you just want to better understand your body, or you just want to hear my story, this video is just for you. So stay tuned. The only thing you do for me is like this video, hit on the subscribe button, and we're here already. Let's start. So for 6 months, I tracked everything: my ovulation date, my basal body temperature, my cervical mucus, and yes, the color and even the texture of my period. I thought I was doing everything right, but I was ignoring a key sign my body was giving me. So the first thing I did was I booked appointment with my doctor. Calm down, I'll be taking it step by step so you don't miss anything. All right, so the very first thing I did was I booked an appointment with my doctor, and when I met with him, a list of tests I was supposed to do was handed over to me. So the first range of tests I did was test of infection, including HVS, endocervical swab, ECS, and urine and microscopy. All right, I did even urine culture. So first it was yeast infection. That was treated with the appropriate antifungals and vaginal suppositories. You know those ones you insert into your vagina. They are called suppositories or pessaries. So the second line of test I did was hormone profile test. This is best done on the day 2 or the day 3 of your menstrual cycle to ascertain the correct levels of your hormones and know if there's anyone that is up or anyone that is down, so that it will be balanced. So here my prolactin levels was discovered to be high. So I was placed on the appropriate dopamine agonist that is going to bring down my prolactin levels. Okay. One key thing I did here was, even after my prolactin levels was down to normal, my doctor placed me again on the drug. This time around, it was the 3rd month. So I took the drug again. So after this, the next line of tests I did were imaging tests, from pelvic ultrasound, abdominal ultrasound, to HSG and others. And thank God everything came back normal. So to the thing I now did, let me now tell you one thing your doctor will not tell you, especially if you've tried everything and all your tests came back normal. The first thing in the list down here of what your doctor might not tell you is, the first thing I did right this place is, now I registered with a gym center. I started to do exercise to lose some weight. Okay, so that was it. The second thing I did was I started to detox myself. I detox with natural leaves according to old wives' tales. Which leaves did I use? Every morning I would go pluck 8 leaves of fresh young guava leaves. I washed appropriately with maybe a little salt, and then boiled with about just a little bit more than half liter of water. Just call it 75 cl of water. Okay, I boiled, are allowed to cool down, and drank in empty stomach. I did this while on my period. So I did this for 4 consecutive days. The first 4 days of my period, I drank this freshly boiled guava leaves morning and night. Just that 75 cl. Then pay attention. On the 5th day, see what I did. How many of you have heard about banana recipe? Banana recipe. Okay. This is prepared with 2 very freshly looking ripe bananas, with 2 very fresh boiled egg. Please, sorry, not boiled, raw eggs. Please try to get a freshly laid egg to reduce the incidence of salmonella contaminated eggs. Get 2 freshly laid eggs, 2 bananas, a pinch of baking soda, not baking powder, bicarbonate of soda. They are different. Baking soda is different from baking powder. So, and then 1 tin of full cream milk of any brand, liquid full cream milk of any brand. Just choose any brand you prefer. Okay, so you blend this. Even though I feared for my organs, I refused to add the baking powder. I didn't add it. The only thing I blended was the 2 fingers of banana, the two freshly laid raw eggs. I broke the egg, pour it in the blender, put the banana, two fingers of banana, poured in my liquid full cream milk, and I blended both of them. I didn't add the baking soda again because it has the potential of harming your kidney, even though in very minute amounts could be safe, but I just didn't want to add it. So all this was going on the fifth day. Okay, after blending all of this, I drank this in empty stomach in the morning of the fifth day of my cycle. That was after I was back from exercise. I just took all of this, and that was it. So in the evening of that same fifth day, I started a fertility supplement. This particular fertility supplement, though very expensive, is a game changer. Okay, it is. I recommend it. It is actually one of the best out there in the market. That is Fertile Aid for Women and Over Boost for Women by Fair Heaven Company. It is very good. I recommend it. If you have tried conceiving, you've done all your tests, and you're fine, start this fertility supplement. Is a game changer. Okay, so from the evening of that fifth day, I took this supplement every day, morning and night, until the 30th day of my cycle. Why did I stop on the 30th day? Because my cycle was like clockwise. It doesn't miss 28 days, either 28, 29, 28, 29, 28, 29. That was how it was going. So on the 30th day, somehow I was very sure I've missed my period. But I was like, all these things I took, could it be that it is trying to cause me delayed period? That day, it was on a Sunday morning. I already bought BT strip from the evening of the previous day. So that day, it was on a Sunday morning. I decided if I returned from mass, I was going to run this BT test, and I was hoping to get my desired result. So when I returned from mass, that's it day of my period, I ran a urine PT test, and behold, your guess is as good as mine. And it was a double line. It was a double line. I couldn't even conclude with the fertility supplement. I had to keep it, even though it was still safe for you to take even in pregnancy, but I was already okay. So what was the next thing I did? Because I have gotten my results, will I relax? No. If you've been trying to conceive and immediately you get a positive pregnancy test, the next thing you should do is to run to the hospital. What are you going to the hospital to do? To do your first scan, your dating scan. This is done between 6 weeks to 7 weeks of your pregnancy. Why are you doing this scan? To make sure that this pregnancy is actually situated right in your uterus and that it is not an ectopic pregnancy. You see why you're listening to this gist from from a medical professional is safer for you than listening to it from a random person. Because I'm going to tell you the reason why you should do what you're supposed to do. I'm going to go extra to tell you why. Okay, that's, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. With the right knowledge, you get your results at the right time. Don't remove the God factor. God is the giver of children, yes, but you need the right knowledge. You need the right knowledge. So what am I trying to say? I said I ran and registered for antenatal immediately. As I'm talking to you, this was around barely 5 weeks of pregnancy. I registered for antenatal. I was asked to go run my first scan at 6 weeks so as to be able to dictate fetal heartbeat and then to determine the actual location of the pregnancy, to be sure that this pregnancy is developing in the uterus and not somewhere else that will result to an ectopic pregnancy. So that was done at the 6 weeks gestation. I went for my scan and it was a viable pregnancy and I was happy. So once pregnancy was confirmed, you are going to be placed on a vaginal suppository. This vaginal, as someone who tried to conceive and just got pregnant, you are supposed to be placed on a vaginal suppository that will take care of any form of progesterone insufficiency. We don't know exactly what made you not to conceive immediately or naturally in the first place. So to be on the safer side, get a vaginal suppository that will take care of progesterone insufficiency. That is any kind of miscarriage, first trimester miscarriage that results as a result of progesterone insufficiency. That is what that drug is going to do for you. Okay, is a vaginal suppository. Once you register, your doctor will give it to you. And that was it. So back to the gist. What could your period be telling you? You need to pay very close attention to your body. If you notice any form of irregularity, sometimes it is too light, sometimes it is too heavy, comes with too many clots, and this could be low due to low estrogen or any other kind of hormonal imbalance. Okay, so you need to visit the hospital and speak with your gynecologist and start on time. All right. So begin to do things differently. First, register in a hospital with your gynecologist or your fertility specialist, and make sure you don't have any underlying infection. I mean, where a baby is coming is supposed to be in the best or the most appropriate way it's supposed to be. Okay, make sure there is no underlying infection that could pose as a hindrance, because even if you do get pregnant with an infection, it could harm the baby or it could cause a miscarriage along the line. So firstly, make sure there is no underlying infection. Then you get your hormones tested. I've said that it is best done on the day 2 or the day 3 of your menstrual cycle. Assess your hormones and make sure that everything is fine there. Do your scans and detox yourself. You already heard what I said. I used to detox. You can invest in quality seeds such as sunflower seed, chia seed. You can also take Vitas supplements. They are all good. And then when you are sure that there is nothing wrong with you anymore, start a fertility supplement like the one I said works for me, Fertile Aid for Women alongside Overboost. They are two different drugs, two different supplements. They are not drugs. Let's call it supplements, okay? Overboost for women and Fertile Aid for women, you take it alongside, is going to help to balance your hormone and take care of any little things that are left here and there. All right, and then pay attention to your body. You will be great. Cut down on processed foods and sugars. Prioritize sleep and stress management. There's this stress hormone called cortisol. It has a way of messing up your hormones. Don't be so stressed. Cut down on anxiety. Don't be too anxious. Anxiety can lengthen this you're trying to conceive period for you, and you don't want that. In conclusion, if you've been trying to conceive and you feel frustrated, irrespective of whether you have a supportive partner or not, you're not alone. The first thing you need to do is understand your body. It is key to this fertility game. Better understand your body and follow suit the other processes I've mentioned. And till I see you again, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and if you got as much value, share it. Someone out there might need it, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.